Cheryl's cousin. I live in eastern Kentucky, and she told me I could come out here and talk to you all. I came to see her this month for the Pride Month. This is my first Pride Month I ever did, and she was producing Love Wins in Windsor. Everyone in Love Wins in Windsor? It was so cool. There were all these gay people all over the place. There was a drag show, and there were guys kissing each other, and there were girls and boys all playing around, having such a good time, and their parents were all there playing with them too. And did you know though that these days woke people, they don't say parents, they say grown-ups. They say, did you bring your grown-ups? Are your grown-ups coming to pick you up? You see, they say that because that way, if you don't have a traditional family with a mama and a daddy, but you just have two mamas or two daddies, well then you can say my grown-ups are here. And it also works if you got a grandmother raising you or a sibling or whatever, right? Don't you think that's cool? Grown-ups. Grown-ups. So, there's a chair. I want a chair. So, anyway, grown-ups. So, I know what I was talking about. So, the thing that made me think about was those people that are afraid to say, okay, it's not okay to have two mamas or two daddies. Or all those people that are out there freaking out about all that stuff. I understand them, you see, because when you think about it, people always say, well, I need to explain the facts of life to my kids, and I need to talk to them about the birds and the bees, right? Well, these days, it's a lot more than birds and bees. For instance, you got the bees and the bees, and you got the birds and the birds. And then you got the birds, that used to be bees, and then you got the bees, they used to be birds, and then you got the birds that look like bees, and then you got the bees that look like birds, but they still got a stinger. Yeah. So you never know what you're going to get when you lift up that skirt, right? Yeah. You see, I came from farm. I was raised on farm. And kids, when you're raised on farm, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. Did you know that farm animals, they don't care about this whole gender business? You see dogs mounting dogs and cats mounting cats and chickens and horses and everything. They don't care. If they're horny, they'll just get on it and do it. It's crazy. And on a farm, when you're a kid, you see, you don't get weird about sexuality, too, because sexuality is around you all the time. You see dogs and chickens and cats fucking. Now, that is something really crazy. Them female cats, they holler when they get fucked. Yeah, and that's because those male cats, they got a barb on the end of their dick. Kind of tears the female up inside. Yeah, they say it makes an egg implant better. I don't know if it does or not, but anyway, that's what they say. And cows fucking, now that is something. Because a cow, she got to get prepared when there's a bull going to be coming at her, So she has to plant her legs like this, and then she gets her shoulders down, and she lowers her head like this, And then the bull, he has to get up a good running start. And right before he gets to her, he throws up those front legs right there and hopefully lands on her back with his dick in her twat just right. It's a gamble. I saw a cow get her back broke like that one time. That bull landed on her, bam! She went straight down. That was one surprise bull. First time I ever saw a human pecker is on my little brother when we was changing his diaper, but that wasn't nothing to be worried about, And then you see boys when they go skinny dipping, but they're all cold then, and their dicks are up in their body like dogs, so, I had never seen nothing there. First time I was with a man, I was all amazed. I mean, that is some serious engineering, I mean, when I was a little girl, I was about 10 years old when I started noticing the boys, I like to kiss them and flirt and stuff. And the boys, you'd be dancing with them and you feel their hard dick through their pants. But I ain't never seen one. My daddy, he didn't ever, I never saw my daddy. He's all shy and stuff, so I never saw his. So I wasn't prepared for what I got the first time I was with a man. I remember I was up in the hayloft with this guy, and we was kissing, and he kissed me, and he took my hand and he put it on his pecker, and it was kind of what I was expecting, I mean, it was hard. It was like a hoe handle, or a hammer. But then he unzipped it and he pulled it out, and I was so amazed. I mean, it was so delicate. It was soft like a flower. The tip was, and then the shaft part. Well, that was kind of hard, like what I expected, and it just kind of amazed me. And then he asked me to put it in my mouth. And I didn't want to. You pee out of that thing. But he told me he washed it. And I said, well, okay. And like I said, it was just, it was not what I expected. It was so perfect, kind of like a boiled egg, and it was soft like a flower, and it was hard like a muscle, and it twitched when I touched it, and it jerked when I put it in my mouth. And he said, oh, Mabel, that feels so good. And it made me happy to make him feel good like that, I remember we was up in the hayloft, and there were wasps was buzzing up in the top of the barn, and little sun slices was cutting through the top of the barn, and the hay smelled so sweet, and little bits of hay and dust was floating in those sun slices, and his eyes were so blue, and I thought to myself, I could suck on this dick forever. And then all of a sudden, he jerked, and my mouth was full of all this hot, bitter stuff, and I spit it out and his dick out too, and he laughed. And that kind of made me mad. But then he told me it's because there's a funny look on my face. And I said, well, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. And he said, yeah. and then he kissed me. And then he licked my lip right here where there's a little stuff on it. And then he kissed me again. That was a happy day. Thank you.